Alright, this would be chapter 2, part 2. And now I'm with my mom, my family, that I've been away for a couple of fucking years. And so, first weeks were pretty well. We had supper every night, breakfast. We all ate together like a family. And it was just a normal life. And I was not used to being with a family and my siblings and kids like that. I was always alone, so I was never like fully used to having a whole big brother role. And at this point I was definitely not fucking ready. I was so had no patience. I was angry and snapping, and of course my mom be telling me, stop, they're just kids, kids will, learning and all that fucking bullshit that parents try to put through your head because you're the oldest. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, nah, man, get that shit the fuck out of here. All I want to do is play my goddamn video games without being disturbed, or read a book, or draw. Now, in this living arrangements, my brother Chance and I shared the bedroom. My two other younger siblings shared the bedrooms together. And my only sister had her own bedroom. And my mom and her husband had a bedroom. So there was 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a big ass living room, a normal sized kitchen, and we had a back room for storage and the washer and dryer and all that. Now, as I'm living there and days and weeks are passing by and everything just started to fall apart gradually and slowly. Just, each day was another obstacle and it was difficult to get by. First of all, we had financial issues. Second was everybody living like that under that roof. And basically most of the kids has a fucking mental disorder of some kind. My second youngest sibling has autism. I have ADHD and a learning disability. My brother had ADD. And I think my other two, they don't really show too much symptoms, but 3 out of 5, it's fucked up in there. My mom was passive aggressive as fuck too. Yeah, she didn't give a shit. You did some shit, she's gonna give you some shit. And so, most of the time, I kind of start, feeling very overwhelmed and heavy. And this is when I started going to middle school, grade 8. And school was my only escape from that chaotic place. Just always happy to go to school, just to get away from all that. And I was very nervous because I'm the new kid, straight from Ottawa, Ontario to where I'm at right now in New Brunswick. And I don't know nobody there. I'm just alone walking around the hallway trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go and my classes. And so I had my, I think, 5 6 classes in one study period, all cramped together in like between 8 to 3 o'clock. And all these like rich kids and the popular kids were just always on my back. They're like, "Oh, come hang out with us, come chill, and come talk to us." And this girl already wanted to jump on my fucking dick and automatically wanted me to be her boyfriend. And I was just like, okay, I'll hang out with you guys. I'll be your boyfriend. I'll be what the fuck you want me to be. In reality, I did not like this chick. I didn't really fall for her. I was just being a nice guy. I didn't want to reject her and make her feel unwanted. And I kind of chilled out with the popular kids, and they were always talking about like cars and women and consoles and just the latest kind of thing. And I was so turned off by everything they're fucking saying. So, I kind of just strayed away, and I just found like this small group of kids that were kind of doing their own thing. So it was like they seemed more my style, more interesting to me. So I chilled out with them, and they did not want me there either. They thought I was the new snobby kid that, because I'm new, I take advantage of that and build a reputation. I was like, no, man, I'm a fucking dork. I play Call of Duty and I like WWE. That's the shit. And they're like, all right, well, we'll give you a chance. And I sat down with them and we just hit it off. And this is where I first met my best friend, Nelson. This guy is literally like 3 years older than me. And he's still in grade fucking 8. But I thought he was still pretty cool because, I don't know, just he really had a vibe that I really liked and I was attracted to. I just wanted to know more about this guy. And we had Billy and Brendan and Cassandra and Nikki. I don't have no idea what the fuck happened to Nikki. Nikki's dead, all I know. But I kind of had a crush on her. She was like a really, really weird chick. Really weird. Always quiet. Didn't say shit. But I thought she was pretty. So we had the normal squad, which was always like with me, Nelson, Billy, Nikki, Cassandra, and then whoever Billy had his squad with. Nelson had his own squad, and then Cassandra had her own squad, and we all came together as just one big ass squad. So we had a whole like class of us just chilling. And keep in mind, this is the class I went through 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with. So we all like stayed together. And it was always getting bigger because we kept meeting more people, and it was awesome. So every day we eat lunch together and we just talk about the dumbest shit, and then continue on our periods in school. And when I got home, I did my homework. I made sure I was caught up in everything so I didn't have to do anything when I got home. I just jumped onto gaming. And then gaming was also my escape. I love gaming. I wanted to make a fucking career out of it, become a game designer, draw that shit out, and like make the characters for the game. That's what I always wanted to do. And it also kind of motivated me to be like the artist that I am today. And to be more with design and with fashion and hairstyles, becoming a hairdresser or even a tattoo artist with the designs I can make. And back then, my straws were fucking shit, but I thought they were lit. So, I think too, at this point, my stepdad was a fucking asshole. He would always put me down. He would always call me a faggot, or he was insult him, like just being what stepdads normally do. It's like a fucking guidebook to them. They automatically do that. And then my siblings were always annoying and in and out of my room with, there's never privacy with that shit. But the only thing is, my brother Chance, he was also living with his dad, so he would always constantly, like every 2 weeks, come back and forth from his mom and dad. But at his dad, he was alone and had gotten everything. And deep down, I didn't want to be jealous and spiteful, but I was. I was jealous that he got all the cool toys, all the games he wanted. He got to be alone, and he had his dad. I got stuck with fucking Mike, Doesn't that sound like a douchebag dad name? Fucking Mike. Like I'm sure like 90% of the fucking teen kids back then that had that stepdad named fucking Mike. You adopted fucking in front of his name, so it'd be fucking Mike. So he would find every possible reason to get me in trouble. And it'll be the dumbest things ever. Like I'll be putting like CDs away, and then he'd be like, "Don't touch those CDs," and I'm like, "Well, I paid for them. They're kind of mine." He's like, "Oh, okay." Like he just comes in just the sake of bitching me out for whatever reason I'm doing. I could be changing my shirt because I got dirt on it and be like, "Oh, now we got laundry to do," as if laundry was a fucking bad thing. It was such an asshole. So I had to deal with my stepdad. My mom was always verbally like abusive. If my name wasn't Chase, it was cocksucker. That was my second name that she would call me. It's like, you fucking cocksucker this and you cocksucker that. Like, and this is before she knew I was fucking bi, first of all, too. She just fucking just named me that shit. And, um, that was like that for quite a bit. Like, a lot of part of my fucking middle school years, like half of grade 8, was that. Eventually, I started running away because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take that fucking verbal abuse. Eventually, it started becoming a little more physical again. And not only that, I was like, we had that family relationship that your parents would take off, and you alone, because you're the oldest, you got to take care of three fucking kids on your own. Back then, when I was a little kid, it was just me and Chance. That's two. That's just him and myself. Now I gotta take care of me, my autistic brother, my fucking whiny ass brother, and my little baby sister who's a spoiled brat, and they got away with everything. Some of the shit, the stories I told my parents, and it didn't make any fucking sense, and they did it. They like, they'd be gone for a couple hours, and I understand I have to babysit. That's my responsibility. But you know how hard it is to keep track with all three kids doing their own thing, and they're all troublemakers. I got in so much shit and grounded for everything I fucking didn't do. Gotta cook, clean up the place, make sure it's all tidy. The kids would piss me off so fucking much, I would literally want to strangle them. And I snapped one day. My fucking split personality took over, and I grabbed my sibling by the throat, and I was dangling over the fucking stairs. And that there is a fucking, it's a drop. It wouldn't kill him, but it would fucking hurt. And then I snapped right back in place, and of course I had to take responsibility for that one because I lost control. But I'm fucking like 12, 13 years old. Like you expect me to be like so much expectations on me, and I'm fucking failing at this shit. And I think in the second semester, this is where I'm fucking miserable. I'm fucking tired, and every every morning would this would be my routine. I get up, take a shower real quick, brush or comb my hair down, fight off the suicide depression thoughts going through my mind, get ready for the day, and I would walk to school every season. Winter, fucking my feet were frozen all the fucking time. I still toughed that shit out. Do my schoolwork, have fun, play around, mess around, and then do the long ass walk home because home is gonna be fucking trash. Because I gotta do my homework, babysit, fucking do all that crap, and then get that verbal abuse going, and occasionally some physical abuse if I didn't fucking do a good job. But things start getting a little happier because this is where I found my best friend in the fucking world. And he's still stuck around this fucking long, and we're going on a 10-year friendship relationship since grade 8, 2000 and fucking 8, and we're heading to 2018. Yeah, my mind is fucking blown of how this guy is still around. So this is how I met him. I saw him sitting there alone at a computer desk. and I literally like slide my ass across. And I was like, "Yo, do you like WWE?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Who's your favorite?" And he replied with Shawn Michaels. I was like, "Shit, I like Jeff Hardy." And then that's it. We became best friends. That was it. Every computer class we had together, every class we possibly had together, we sat with each other all the time. We talked all the time. But we got our schoolwork done. Don't sit there and fucking talk all fucking day. Get that shit done and talk while you're doing it so it looks like you're actually doing a good job, but you're having fun at the same time. We did that for years. All through my high school. Like we all the fucking time. But back to how we met, and this guy was basically like my conscience. I was such a fucking free spirited, careless kind of guy, and he was very, more a little more serious. He was silly and fun, but he out of us both, he was more of the serious guy, and he was like the smart one, while I was the fun one. So I always brought that part out of him, the fun and silly part, and he brought the intellectual part out of me. So we always complement each other that way, and we became a really good dynamic duo. So I would always go over to his place because I was so embarrassed for him to come to my place because my place was shit. This guy had his whole own fucking house that his dad built, and it's fucking gorgeous. And I just want to go fucking there. But every time he came by my place or anything, it was like I was a little embarrassed. I tried not to show it because it's not like my traits, not my personality. I try not to get embarrassed easily. But I was like, my mom would come in and say the dumbest fucking shit. My stepdad being a total asshole towards me and him and my siblings. Well, you know how siblings are when your best friend comes around. Somehow he becomes a fucking jungle gym. He's not a human being anymore. He's a fucking jungle gym. Swinging off of him, monkey bars, climbing all over him. I don't fucking understand why kids do that shit. And we both graduated together. But I remember in that middle school, they put me, because I was into animation, they made me an animated cartoon turtle. And I was a voice actor for that cartoon turtle. My name was fucking T-Boo back then. And I did that kind of art project that helped me graduate for extra credit and stuff like that. That's where I started picking up art schooling because they were also teaching art in there. I didn't really take any of that shit in because it was so useless and I already knew all of it. Because I read books and stuff like that as a kid. Studied that crap on my own time because it was a passion. And yeah, we graduated, and I remember this word for word, and Tyler remembers this. And if he's watching this, he's gonna fucking laugh. I think it was either grade 8 or 9 when we were hanging out and stuff. I think it was 8. He said to me, because school's done, we're not gonna see each other. He says, "Hey, I'll see you around if you want." And I was like, "Fuck off." I just flipped him off and said "fuck off," and I turned around and walked away. It was the longest fucking joke I have planned out. He thought I hated him or some shit because when grade 9 rolled around and I saw him, he didn't look at me. Well, he saw me, but he looked away and he was like, "Man, maybe he didn't like me or whatever." And I slapped him on the shoulder and be like, "Yo, man, I was just fucking with you." It was just one big ass joke, and he just smiled at me. He's like, "You fucking asshole," and that's how we are. That's like, he calls me that all the time. "You fucking asshole," just the way he says it. Like no one else can do that. But I graduated middle school, and I guess we're almost at the end of the video length. I will continue the story on to the next part of this chapter, and then think at this point, this is where I start becoming more troublesome and where suicide takes more of a toll on me and my well-being, and everything with my mom and our relationship that we built up and expected just goes downhill from here. right after graduation, between 8 and 9 of the year. That's when we like got into start physical fights. I would get black eyes and claw marks on my face and stuff like that. Like, so thanks for watching. You don't have to like or subscribe or that shit because I'm not like all those YouTubers, but I do appreciate the views and like get my story out there so I can, you know, educate you people of who I am. Because I get all these Facebook messages saying, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Guy, just search up the fucking name. You obviously got my name off of there, so why the fuck you asking?" So, yep, stay tuned for the next part, and I'll try to get it either done tomorrow or the day after.